I have this friend who used to say that he thinks of two parts of being a musician. One is the craft, and one is the art. And I've realized this year that there's one portion missing from that, which is the audience.
The Civic Orchestra of Chicago is an extraordinary ensemble of young people who represent the best of their generation in classical music. It was founded in 1919 by Frederick Stock, who was the second music director of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. He created the program to prepare emerging professional musicians for lives in music and to share music with communities across Chicago, especially in places that might not otherwise experience the art form unless the orchestra took the initiative to leave its home, to give concerts, and to educate. 100 years later, the Civic continues to fulfill its mission as we launch the next century.
Being a member of the Civic Orchestra has been more than I dreamed of, and I dreamed of it for a long time. When I was growing up, I came to hear the CSO quite often, and also the Civic Orchestra of Chicago. We sat in the back of the terrace, and every single time that I get the opportunity to play on the orchestra hall stage, I look back at that seat.
It's really fun to play in orchestra hall. Just to know that you're on the same stage that every prominent musician in the past century has been on is a really cool feeling.
Like when I'm sitting concertmaster, I'm like, oh my God, Robert Chen was literally just sitting in this seat. One day we could be sitting in these seats full time, and this could be my chair that someone else is then sitting and going, oh my God, John Heffernan sits in this chair. Working with the top-notch conductors has been probably one of the most incredible experiences.
The caliber of guests that they bring through to work with us is really mind-boggling.
The first concert I did with Civic was at Millennium Park, performing in front of several thousand folks next to CSO musicians with Maestro Muti, which was an intimidating experience. But I can't say enough about how welcoming and generous all the CSO musicians were and how kind Maestro Muti was through that whole process.
The mentorship and connection that Civic has with the members of the CSO is really special. As a member of the horn section, I have sectionals with Dan Gingrich.
I was fortunate enough to be a member of the Civic Orchestra for 3 years. It was a tremendous opportunity for me. As a member of Civic, I was coached by Dale Clevenger, longtime principal horn of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. Being able to study with Chicago Symphony musicians really catapulted my career beyond what I could have expected anywhere else, I think. I love things having come full circle now and being able to be the Civic horn coach and see more young people coming up and learning and having this experience and hopefully being able to go on and enjoy a life in music the way I have.
What I love about Civic is that although we get to do this really elite thing, we also get to do a lot of stuff in the community. I feel like our job description is to make music with and for as many people in this city as we can.
The Civic Orchestra consists of young people who are trying to understand what the 21st century is about and how people can serve society through music.
We engage with communities across the city in a variety of ways. We're playing monthly orchestral concerts in Symphony Hall for free.
We played in retirement homes, food pantries.
We've also worked with women's shelters and after-school programs for immigrants.
We did a project where we were writing music in collaboration with parents who've lost kids to gun violence. Being trusted with those folks' stories was a really transformative experience, I think, for all of us.
Being a musician, we have so much to worry about in the practice room, and we kind of forget about how to take those skills and apply them to the world around us. Being in the Civic Orchestra has really opened my mind to those possibilities.
It's great to see Civic continuing and expanding opportunities to reach out to the community and make our music a real cause for good in the world.
there's not one way to be a musician. There are these paths out there, and I can walk on any number of them. But I have a perspective of the kind of projects I want to do, the kind of music I want to make, and Civic has given me the understanding that I can make that path, even if it doesn't exist yet.